Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain for You. I'm at that little pond at the Arboretum. My neighbor wouldn't stop blowing the leaves, so I had to escape and find a little bit of quiet. So, today's topic is going to be, you just think you are. Alright? So the whole concept of today's video is going to be about thought and how that impacts us. So, take a nice couple of deep breaths. Let's enjoy the scene of nature. Right, beautiful little pond. Breathe in the outdoors. Exhale the indoors. Breathe in the confidence. Exhale the doubt. Breathe in the bravery. Exhale the fear. So, today's topic. You just think you are, right? And it all stems down to this. You're not broken. You just think you are. Alright? Your doctor told you you were. Your research said you were. Your friends and family said you were broken. The media, the newspapers, the magazines, the websites said you were. So you've come to think you are broken. But what if you weren't? What if all of this misinformation that's been fed into the brain is now resulting in these symptoms or pains being persistent and chronic? So look, pain happens for any number of reasons, whether it be a true injury or the onset of this thing called TMS or mind-body syndrome. But the fear, the focus, the anxiety, plus all of the input from all those things I just listed, the doctors, the media, the research, the internet, all of those things further convince you that you're broken. And when you combine fear plus attention on the symptom or the pain, that's what makes it persistent or chronic. So, what if you're not broken, you just think you are, right? And a lot of times with us TMSers, we tend to get into the habit of thinking too much or thinking too many negative things and actually believing those negative thoughts as truth. Well, what if those things aren't true? What if they're just things that were suggested to you or input into your brain? So it's really important for you to understand that the brain is neutral. The brain has no preference whether you feed it positive information or negative information. It's neutral, and it's going to deliver you results based on those things that are fed into it. It's like a computer. Garbage in, garbage out. You want a different result, feed it different things, different thoughts, different beliefs, different media, different, content from on the web. And that's why I do this stuff, is to make sure you get on a repetitive basis, consistent basis, the right messages to teach you that you're really not broken. And so, again, I don't believe you're broken. I don't believe any of us are broken. And it doesn't matter if you think you are broken emotionally, mentally, physically. You just think you are, right? And so it's really important for you to kind of get over this this feeling that you're broken and to not really allow it or accept it as truth. And look, many of us have had diagnoses from doctors, from media specialists, from psychologists, psychiatrists, surgeons, you name it. And all they do is give you all this negative stuff. And as I talked about in the MSU University video, sometimes they're making this stuff up. If you're still going to the doctor and they tell you something, say, what is the evidence? Where's the hard proof that that is actually true? Right? How do I know that this is exactly what's going on with me? What is the evidence? They'll say, well, your symptoms correlate to other people who've had this before. Okay. So if they don't know about TMS, you know more about chronic pain and chronic symptoms than they do. So you don't have to accept it, right? TMT. Well, we always talk about TMS, tension myositis syndrome, tension myoneural syndrome, the mind-body syndrome. And I've been joking and saying for a couple of years now, too much stress. So again, TMT is too much thinking. Too much believing you're thinking. Right? Thoughts don't make them real. They're just thoughts. And so, you're not broken. You just think you are. And what if you were able to use accurate knowledge about what TMS is and this mind-body syndrome is with a pretty fail-safe assessment to determine if your symptoms and pains are from TMS? What if you were able to take those two things to start shifting your belief and thereby your thoughts about your symptoms and pains? Right? You can think differently and end up with a different result. Like I said, the brain is neutral. You feed it with different information, different input, and you very well can get a different result. So are you believing your thoughts? Are you believing all the ones? Are you believing the ones that say I'm mentally ill, I'm broken, I've got too much trauma, I have PTSD, I'll never get better because of that? Or are you believing the fact that if you really took some time and breathed nice and calm and looked around, that you're actually already safe? You're already well. It's just the thoughts and the thinking that makes you believe that you're not. So, what if you don't have a depression disorder or an anxiety disorder or a panic disorder? What if you don't have any of those things? What if you just think you do, and as a result, anytime you start to feel that anxiety or that sadness, you freak out because you think, oh my God, this is a huge problem. So, if you're feeling anxious today, so what? Today's an anxious day. Some days you feel better. Some days you don't. Do you freak out when you feel better? Do you freak out when your mind calms down a little bit and you get a little bit more present? Hopefully not. Or do you only freak out when something that you've been told is a problem and has been defined for you as a problem, like anxiety or depression or this mind-body syndrome, or even fear, or even stress? I'm feeling stressed, so oh no, I got to get rid of this stress because I'm going to have symptoms. Well, that's the input that you're giving into your brain, and the brain's listening all the time. It's neutral, and it would much rather say, it's kind of a stressful day, but no big deal, I can handle this. It's not a problem for me. The brain would much rather do that, because the brain's just trying to keep us safe, keep us alive. But it's also here to give you exactly what it believes you want or expect. So look, if you're getting results in life that you are not happy with, what can you do to change the input so you can influence in a positive direction your outcome? Because if you just go by default and stick with what's familiar, which is all these negative thoughts, it's very likely that you're going to continue to get the same negative results that you've had for a long time. And so, TMT, too much thinking. It's not even the fact that too much thinking, because we all think all day long. If you think, I got this crazy person that talks in my head all day long, I must be going insane because I hear voices. You're not. You're a normal human being. Everybody has those voices in our head, and that's called thinking. So TMT, too much thinking, I don't think that's an appropriate acronym. It's really too much believing our thoughts, and I don't have the initials for that, and it doesn't matter. But believing our thoughts can get us into a lot of problem. Believing other people's thoughts. If you've got a spouse that keeps on saying, you should go to the doctor, you should go to the doctor, this is a real problem, and you listen to that and you basically accept that, you're not going to feel as well as if you can remind yourself and calm yourself down and reassure yourself, it's just TMS. I'm not really broken. So, you just think you are. You're not broken mentally, physically, emotionally. You just think you are because you may have been told that. Or you may have come to that conclusion because how come I feel so awful? I must have a mental problem. I must have an emotional problem. I must have a disorder of some sort. Panic, OCD, PTSD, depressive disorder. I have all these disorders because I feel a certain way that's not pleasant. Okay, well, that's part of being human. Once you learn that you can have a bad day or a bad week or even a bad month, it's okay. Talking to a buddy of mine and just broke up with this girl. And he's feeling really, really sad. I said, good, feel it. You're supposed to. I'm not saying, roll in it and bask in it. But if you're feeling sad, be sad. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. If you're angry, be angry. But do it for you. Feeling's an inside job. You don't have to share it with the world. You don't have to blow up at those people around us. around you, right? So you just think you are. You're not really broken. You just think you are. And I will frame it this way. You just thought you were, because now you realize that you have the capability, by giving yourself better input into this marvelous computer called the brain. And so garbage in, garbage out means, if you're getting a garbage output, you're probably feeding it garbage from other people, from ourselves, from our own thinking. And if you'd like to change the outcome, change the input, right? We can't control the pain. We can't control our thoughts. I'm not suggesting you should control your thoughts. I'm just suggesting that the ones that don't serve you and hold you down, you don't have to take them serious. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to believe them. You can just let them float by and wait for, or with some intention, decide to remind yourself, it's just TMS, I have the knowledge, I've done the assessments, I'm going to reassure myself, it's all right, Dan, you've got this, it's no big deal, right? That's how we start to take some control over the outcome in our life, is not take the negative thoughts so seriously, discard all of those labels that you've heard, all of these things that are prefaced by disorder, anxiety, depression, panic disorder, PTSD, right? Scrap the labels and start to input different thoughts and different beliefs. And the brain believes what you think and say and hear most often. So limit your exposure to negative input. If you can, limit exposure to the negative thoughts, but if you have them, so what? Just let them go. Shift your attention to gratitude. Shift your attention to joy, purpose, meaning, connection with others, right? This stuff really matters. So I'm going to encourage you to drop these beliefs as fact, because they are not. And a lot of times, believing our thoughts is what gets us into so much trouble. If you think, I'll never be able to get better, that's going to cause some trouble for you, right? As opposed to reviewing success stories and the videos and the volumes and volumes of information out there. You don't have to hang on to that belief that you won't get better. It's just a passing thought. It's no more accurate than a belief that says, I will get better. They're both accurate depending upon what you believe and where you place your attention and where you provide the input into the computer of the brain, and you'll get the output you need. So whatever you can do to kind of let those negative dark thoughts, those labels go, and really kind of attach yourself to the positive thoughts, to the thoughts that say, I can do this. This is no big deal. I'm really not as broken as I thought I was, past tense, right? So I got sun glaring off the water in front of me. I'll give you guys another view of the lake or the pond. It's pretty nice and beautiful. I've been seeing some splashes, so there's some fish in there, but I did not bring my fishing rod. So in any event, what do you guys think? You just thought you were. Let me know your comments, your experience. If you've actually had an experience where you were able to change your input into this computer and get a different result, share it. Let other people know this stuff is legit, it's real. And with that last view of the pond, I'm going to say have a great day, enjoy your Sunday, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care. Love you.